And we back. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, Watch Your Mouth Reviews. This is your boy James, where I am here to give my honest review while trying to watch my mouth. It is not going to happen, but that's okay. We'll live to fight another day. Joining me as always is my co-host, Mrs. Best. Y'all say what's up to her.
Hello, beautiful people. I do hope that you like and subscribe to James's channel. I will be on camera halfway through the live, but please like and subscribe. He's got great content.
Thank you, Mrs. Best. And please subscribe to Mrs. Best as well. Any reviews or recaps I don't cover on my channel, it's because we're on Mrs. Best channels covering it. Right after this video specifically, we're going over to her channel to do Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, which y'all do not want to miss because we are going to go win. I already know. Here's the link right here. It is also in my description box. Shout out to our girl Shani, who is up in here already. She's always first, and she wants to make sure we all know that. We love that you first here, Shani, always. Hey, and I hope you're doing well today. So, y'all, let's get to it. Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and I think I just deleted my notes, and I'm pissed about that. Ugh, I did that the other day, too. So I have to go straight off of memory, y'all. I am so sorry, but that's okay. Not much happened anyway, and I think I can remember the majority of it. I'm glad you had a good day today, Shani. Thank you. We, spread positivity, hug somebody, do something, y'all, with yourselves, people, because we living in really undescribable times. So yes, please hug somebody because they probably need it. Anyways, y'all, this episode was absolutely crazy. It was funny. It was everything and more. So Whitney is the spearhead of this episode. She is bringing all the ladies together. Whitney is reminding us again that, when it came to her husband, Justin, losing his job based on some of the behaviors they exhibited in season 1 of Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, it took a toll on her to where she felt like she needed to change who she was and become someone different. And now that, her business, failed, she is reverting back to her old ways because she felt like at this point, if me changing is trying to start a business isn't working, I might as well go back to my original self and, do it from there. So she's going to invite the ladies to a winery so that way she can let them know that this is what she's going through and kind of being transparent about where she is and what she would like to do. Shani's comment just threw me off. Shani, why you do this to me? Hug someone? Nah, I'll slap my son in the back of his head, girl. Lord, we don't promote that mama violence. So I call it mama violence. It's not really violence, y'all, when your mama do it, but that's what I call it. But anyways, y'all. So she invites all the ladies, and as everyone's getting there, Heather and Mary are the first to show up, and Mary is looking around. She goes, "Why did Whitney choose this place?" Mary looking around, talking about the man who used to own this winery. He killed his family on Christmas and terrified the dog and everything. So I don't know why Whitney would choose this place. And I was hollering because I was like, "Wait, that is just so random." And I'm like, "Yeah, Whitney, why did you choose this place?" Because I wouldn't want to be there either. That's crazy. But a lot of wineries and hotels and stuff always have some crazy horror stories. So it's kind of
Especially in Utah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Utah. For whatever reason, serial killers and cults love to move to Utah.
Yeah, absolutely. It's crazy. Angie gets there, and when Angie arrives, she has this tub. She has this tub full of items. Nobody knows what this is. We can't tell what it is. But Angie tucks it underneath the table and then goes outside and greets the ladies. And then next is Bronwyn to show up, and Bronwyn had on this whole setting of flowers, a rubber flower or plastic flowers on her, and we're looking like Bronwyn. What is going on? Like, okay. But y'all, it wasn't until I saw Meredith walk through that door. And I really said, okay, now Meredith, I'm sorry. But Meredith, I gotta ask you, Meredith, what the fuck is this? And why did you have it on? Why do you have it on? When I tell y'all I was Mary laughing, Mary had my exact reaction. Mary kept looking at Meredith and was hollering and was like, why? And then she said she's looks like a walking disease. Is that what she said? Walking disease? Yeah, that's what she said. I was like, Meredith, Meredith, please don't do this again. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. But Shanny said it best. What in the Brooks Marks was Meredith wearing? You know, he dressed her. And I absolutely agree. Ever since Brooks started dressing Meredith, a walking virus. That's what she said, walking virus. Thank you, Shanny. I'm sorry, y'all. Brooks needs to stop styling his mom because this was not cute at all. Mrs. Best, what was your reaction when you saw Meredith walk through that door just a smile?
Well, I had to find the devil's lettuce to get through. Here's the thing. I've never understood Meredith's fashions. I don't care for any of them. So this didn't surprise me, but this was pretty bad. If you're going to put together an outfit full of flowers, I want it to be colorful. I think it was
Like
Brahma.
Brown, yeah, Brown. Yep.
What kind of flower? She looks like a dead rose garden. And I hate that for her.
No, she looks
Meredith
like.
just needs to go. Meredith needs to stop. She needs to go. My husband has been watching The Last of Us. It's a sci-fi show based on a video game. He said the woman looked like one of the infected.
That's
This
actually a good. That's actually very
I think
spot on
it's
because I was gonna say something from
not
Silent Hill,
spot
but
on. Silent Hill too. I could definitely see that. I haven't watched The Last of
mhm.
Us like that, but upon a Google search, I'm like, I think it's the color that's bad. I think also Meredith should not wear things that like hug her at the lower body. Like that's where she gets me a lot because she don't have no shape behind her, and that's okay. But you got to dress for your size. I just think Meredith needs to let it go. Brooks is never going to get hired by any other person to be styled. Who's hiring Brooks based on his catalog? Is that what they do? Stylists? I don't know what the fuck stylists do. But would you hire him to dress
Hell
you
no,
if this is what you saw?
no. I would rather Ariana on that show, um, Next Gen style me than Brooks. Like I'm sorry, I feel like she would do a better job than this.
It's a
I think
confusing outfit. She
maybe
don't know if she's hot or cold. She got on long sleeves. She's being swallowed up to the knees and thighs and flowers. It looks like it literally looks like a villain or like something in a video game that suddenly starts attacking you. And this worries me for Meredith.
it does because it does look like they all the flowers that's posted on that outfit is about to start opening up their mouths and speaking to everybody. Like it really does look like something like fictional. But let me get that off my screen because yeah, that was way too much for me. I didn't know what Meredith was. I don't know what Meredith was doing. But as
I love that she
um,
supports her child, but I also think ask your child to style you less so he could go style other people or something. But
and get some experience maybe
yeah,
with
because
doing
he
it because
needs
maybe
it.
with time he'll do better. Like maybe you know how they say like people who do things over time they tend to get better at things. I think the problem is that he is showing his age because that was very young. That was very young. So I told you, James, you remember that plant from the little shop boy? Yes, I remember that shit. I came with Shandy, y'all. But, so as everyone else gets there, Whitney is letting them know that she has changed a lot of herself after Justin got fired and felt responsible for that. So she's going back to the original Whitney, and this event is to signify, her becoming who she originally was. And everyone thought that was so beautiful and everything. And then she said also she bought I don't want to call him a psychic or intuitive or whatever it was that she invited in there. And he's going to read everyone's, future. And Mary said, not today, Satan. No, he will not. Mary said, I will be skipping this part. Mary wanted no parts of that. And you know what's crazy, y'all? I used to be open to things like that. I never had a psychic reading before. Never had it before. And then I always wanted to do it, but then I felt like I feel like there's things you're not supposed to know. Because I feel like there's an angst that whatever is good for you may not come true because you're expecting it. So that's why I never did it. It's because I feel like there's some things you just shouldn't know. And that's kind of where I would, do it. Mrs. Best, would you ever have a psychic reading or have you had a psychic reading?
No, I grew up very strict Muslim and Islam. Um, so we didn't believe in that. And now, I guess if I had to choose a religion, I would align with Christianity. But never had one. I've always wanted to do it though. Like I'm not
Mm-hmm.
against it, but I also feel like me wanting to do it is because I don't really fully believe it, if that makes sense. But just based on what I've seen on TV, I don't buy it.
I
I
agree
got to
with you.
go on my own and see if somebody could tell me some shit about me that nobody knows but me.
Interesting.
And I
Yeah.
don't want to pay to like, you know what I mean? Like for
Yeah.
somebody to be like, your husband is on the way and I'm married already. Like I don't want to pay for that. That would piss that would piss me off. I'd be calling you
Right.
mad. Like I just wasted $35 and this bitch told me my husband's on the way. He's at home. I would have been pissed.
But
So
what if
yeah.
he really was on the way to come get you?
I'm
I'm
a,
just saying, like, I mean, like, it could be true. Like, maybe it was like an element to it. Like, maybe she like did what's specific, but like your husband to come get you, and then sure enough, he coming to get you. Like,
I feel like though, on a serious note with Whitney and Heather, I feel like sometimes they're just trying to replace what they're trying to replace the space that their religion used to take up sometimes with stuff like
mm,
this. Like some people genuinely are in the psychics and mediums and, you know, things of that nature, and nothing's wrong with it. But some people really, really believe in that, actually live by it. It just seems like they just don't find it another like religious type foundation to lean on. Nothing's wrong with it, but if you're on a show in a freaking state that's ran by the church and you bring a psychic to an event, you should probably make sure that everybody's aware that they will be there first because off rip, she had to know that Mary wouldn't do it. I'm surprised Heather did it because she teeters with being Mormon or not. Um, and Lisa's supposedly still actively Mormon. So I was surprised that some of the cast agreed, but you know.
I actually wasn't surprised by Heather doing it, and I wasn't surprised about Lisa because they, like, and to quote Angie, have one foot out the door and another on the banana peel. So I kind of feel like that's how they operate, both Lisa and Heather. And Whitney too. Whitney too. Another thing I wanted to ask you is Whitney is like hell bent on saying that she was the reason that Justin lost his job. Now, though I do feel like their behavior on season one did play a part, but do you recall about him allegedly, and I have to say allegedly because I don't know what the outcome of that case was, allegedly being a part of a pyramid scheme, and that's why he allegedly lost his job. Like, do you recall that in the media?
I remember that because I
I,
believe that was when we had just started recapping the show.
right.
Your channel was
So,
new and we was actually doing our due diligence and looking into everything. So
I don't know if she's trying to rewrite history or if like she really does believe like she had a part in it. I was like, well, didn't he lose his job doing something else? And why is he still not working? Isn't that because I remember her saying on the season that he signed like some sort of non-compete agreement? I feel like they work for the financial company I work for because there is in your contract that you can't work for another financial institution if you were to get terminated for like a year or two. Like it is in the contract. So that's why I was like, I wonder if they work for the same company I
I can't
did.
see any company posing a contract that would say you just can't compete with us ever again. I do. Hi, Kevin. I do feel like what you just said is probably what happened to Whitney's husband after losing his job. However, it's been years.
That's what I'm saying. Why is he not working now? Like, did he
And
just choose
then
to retire?
he was caught up in a pyramid scheme, which he spoke about years ago. But that's the same thing that Whitney's being accused of also today. So I'm like, what is going on? I don't feel like these people are telling us the truth, which I think we all know. But what I don't like that I feel like Whitney's going to do is make it seem like she's being extremely open while not telling us anything at all. And so far, that's what it's giving. Because she keeps saying, oh, this and that. I feel like I put my husband through this and I'm the reason he lost his job. Like, why are you even going all the way back there? Talk about what you're going through right now. We really don't give a damn about him losing his job. That was years ago.
That's how I feel too. I feel like she is hiding something. And she said on Watch What Happens, excuse me, y'all. She said on Watch What Happens Live that she still has Prism. She still has her other businesses. So her and Justin are fine. So then what are you crying wolf for? But apparently on Watch What Happens Live, she admitted that they lost over $500,000 investing into this jewelry company. That's a lot of money for some shit that wasn't even open a year. So I don't know. I don't know what to say about Whitney, but I just felt like some of her story, it just felt like you're putting on and then it's not making sense because you, like with Dr. Contessa, y'all cannot rewrite history as if we were not filming and you did not say the real reason why that man lost his job. Do I think she had a part in it? Absolutely. I'm not saying she didn't, but I just feel like I don't want her to solely blame herself. That's what I'm saying. Like you didn't have a full part. I think my honest opinion about that whole situation, I think that y'all being on the show put eyes on y'all. I think that that's really what happened. I feel like y'all being on the show put eyes on y'all even more and magnified the situation for people to look into that. Because I don't believe her. I just don't.
Whitney
So
been on some BS. Let's call a spade a spade. Nobody wanted Whitney on the show no more. I feel like the whole situation with Monica kind of saved her because prior to that, Whitney really wasn't that relevant and was doing the most.
speaking of Monica, Monica is recapping the show with Carlos on YouTube for his show Kingdom Reign. And I said, not Monica recapping the show. Okay.
Brilliant.
It's a good move, Carlos. I had to give you that. Hi, DM Rocks. Thank you for being here. Yeah, Mary had me laughing a lot on this episode. She really did. But yeah, I said, okay, Carlos, I see because getting Monica was brilliant. That was a smart ass move. So moving on from there, y'all, the ladies then sit at a table and the sidekick is ready for, the first ring. And I think Brittany went first. So Brittany goes first. And this opens up the segue for Meredith to confront Lisa. So Meredith confronts Lisa about what she had told Angie. And she said that apparently you were talking about me and telling people to dig up information about my family. Lisa immediately denies this and said, no, I did not. But I'm looking at the devil right now, and I'm sure she had something to do with this, talking about Angie. And Angie says, yes, Lisa, you remember that you told me to dig up dirt on Meredith. And I felt like Meredith needed to know because me and her are coming into a good place. And I didn't want anything to come between that. And so, and this is where it bites Angie in the ass, which I knew it would because this is Meredith you dealing with. As I said, I didn't mind that Angie did this, but I knew this was going to bite her in her ass because Lisa immediately still denies this, says that she did not do this. And Meredith seemed to believe her. And here's the thing. This was certification for me that Lisa and Meredith came into this aligned and formed an alliance with each other, that whatever comes out between the two, they're just going to immediately deny that it happened and that they're going to have each other's backs. This was the proof right here that everybody needed. Like if y'all don't see this, this was the proof. Because I 100% believe that Lisa did this. But they came into this having each other's backs because they know what they're up against. It was stupid of Angie to do this, but at the end of the day, I understood why she did it. So they are going back and forth, calling each other hoes and bitches and all this and everything else. And I'm not going to go point by point of the argument because it went on and on and on and on. So I'm only going to point out the key parts. By this time, Brittany comes out of her meeting, and all he said was, you seem to have some strange relationships and everything. And she goes, "Oh my God, how would he know this? There's no way he could know this." And the producers are literally flashing back to Britney's first season and showing her that they're each time she said, "My relationship is strained with my daughters. I wish I had a better relationship with my daughter." So as Britney's coming out, Bronwyn goes in, and Bronwyn's reading was actually really sad because he said that, you had some illnesses, but you're ignoring one, which is your mother. Did she have a brain operation? And Bronwyn said yes. And he goes, I think you guys are putting all of your eggs in one basket and focusing on your father instead of focusing on your mother, who is equally as ill. And Bronwyn is very moved by this. You could tell she's faint because she knows that they're all focusing on her dad because he's the one with Alzheimer's. So she's like, yeah, we aren't really thinking about my mom because she also had brain surgery. So Bronwyn is visibly upset, comes back to the table. Lisa and Angie are still going at it. And Bronwyn notices that, I mean, not Bronwyn, Meredith notices that Bronwyn is upset and says, Bronwyn, what's wrong? She goes, Meredith's like, hey, everybody, cut it out, cut it out. She's trying to tell us something, cut it out. And so Bronwyn says that, he pretty much told me that, there's a situation with my mom that I need to start focusing on. And she kind of breaks down in tears. And immediately Mary goes to comfort her. And that's why I love Mary, because Mary notices that this girl is really going through it. And she makes sure that she shows up for all of them, even when they piss her off. Lisa goes, "Oh, Bronwyn, I'm so sorry to hear that. But back to you, Angie. You're a bitch." And then I was like, "Well, wait a minute, damn." And so Angie was all like, "I want to go to the text message you said about I'm taking some man's credit card and going on vacation. Lisa, this is my black card. Throws it on the table. And then here's my other black card. Throws it on the table. And then this is my last black card. Throws it on the table, and it's flying everywhere." And Heather's like, "Oh my God, I never saw a black card before." And then Brittany pulls up the other black card and stuffed it in her titties. And then Mary grabs the last black card and said, "Angie, put this back in your purse. Stop playing. Put this back in your purse." Because y'all, I'm not going to lie. Having a black card is a flex. But having three of those motherfuckers is unheard of. Like, y'all understand, to get a black card, you have to be invited. It's not something you can apply for. So I have to give it to Angie. That was a big flex because all Lisa could do is say, "Oh, that's not a black card. It's not a black card." And I'm looking at Lisa like, that shit is a black card. Shut up. You just hate. You just hate. You just hate. You just hate. So, Mrs. Best, I have to ask you because this is what's so funny to me. Would you have went that far with Lisa and pulled out your black card and started throwing the motherfuckers all over the place? Like, would you do that?
This is where I start to feel like Salt Lake City is overrated because to me, no, I wouldn't do that. I got proof shit's not a damn bitch. Number one. And then number two, if here's where Angie keeps failing. You keep saying stuff about Lisa, but Lisa's going to deny anything that you accuse her of. So when you come at Lisa with anything, you need to come at her with receipts, quotes, notarized forms. You need to come at Lisa with receipts, and you need to have those receipts present on camera. It's just the only way. Without that, it's just going to become a shouting match where Lisa just gets madder and madder as you deny things that we all know to be true. Like, that's the thing. Like, I think most of the audience is not on Lisa's side, but these ladies just don't seem to have the ability to properly read or put somebody in their place. Because Lisa is not that hard to get together. Like, she's not. she's got her tail tucked between her legs with this situation with these lawsuits and her husband and filming happening all at once. Like, they are putting too much energy into it when they could simply come at her the way a Potomac or Atlanta housewife would, with a quick and easy read. Like, it doesn't even have to be all of us. But,
Absolutely.
you know, the black cards, it's always a flex to have a black card. However, it's a bigger flex to have the actual balance in your account and not have to pay that motherfucker back month after month. But, you know, Angie has those cards because she has a reputable business. I think Angie's probably the most normal person in terms of wealth and her businesses on the show. She has a hair business. I mean, you can only make so much money off of a doggone salon. But it's also kind of tacky to throw your cards out. I don't want nobody to know what I got. As far as anybody's concerned, I'm a broke bitch and I'm okay with that if people think that. Like,
absolutely.
But they're so concerned with looking rich, and that's a problem across all of these franchises. They're so concerned about looking rich that, Angie, you ignored so many arguments that you had that were valid to keep going back to these damn cards.
To me, I just feel like I would have never did that. I would have just let her assume what she wants to assume. And y'all are skating away. And then here's the thing, Angie skated away from the issue. Angie took that way too personal. For me to think, okay, is there some truth to what Lisa's saying? Because why are you taking that so personal? I would have laughed and said, Lisa, you really don't know what you're talking about. But if that's what you want to believe, y'all have to understand something. When you go back and forth in an argument with someone, they start pulling out ridiculous shit. That's when you have to kind of just say, you know what, you right. If that's what will cause you to sleep better at night, then you right. Absolutely, I did it. Because what the hell else she gonna do? Like, if that were true that another man was letting Angie use his credit card for them to go on vacation and she paid the shit back, so what? And I still on the vacation. The man still got his money. Did your person get that money back? And then and this is where Angie Kramer, she goes, why don't you take my black card and go to Nordstrom's and buy yourself something? And Lisa goes, I don't shop at Nordstrom's, but you do. And so Angie said, oh, so your boyfriend don't shop at Nordstrom's and get you stuff? He don't do that? And I'm just like, y'all, what the hell are we arguing about? Kevin Reynolds, I'm scared to look at this comment. I'm scared to get
anytime you scared.
Anytime Kevin Reynolds said, let's agree to disagree, I'm scared to look at the comment. Kevin Reynolds, what are you talking about? Let's agree to disagree. Actually, like Meredith's outfit, saw on picture. Picture does the outfit justice. From the sound of it, y'all ain't for Meredith.
I don't really mind Meredith. I just don't. I don't like the way she dresses on this show from season 1. I never have. I just never have. And I don't think I ever will. But I'm not saying that she's always badly dressed. But to put someone in a floral outfit with no color, not even a pop of it, is nasty work. It's nasty work. And her little peg legs, I can't. But Meredith be cracking me up on this show. I don't have nothing against her because you will be surprised how many times me and my husband quote, you can leave. Meredith cracks me up. But yeah, I just don't. I can't get behind that outfit, Kevin. I'm sorry.
I can't get behind the outfit. And here's the thing. Maybe it looks cuter on the model who wore it first. But I'm just not here for it. First of all, it's silver. Where is there a silver flower? So that's the first thing. And the second thing is I can give or take with Meredith. Like, if she's here, fine. If she's not, fine.
She do need to kind of lead this show though, because I do think she's past it. I think there's a couple housewives that just, after so long, they're not going to give us more, and they shouldn't have to. I don't think Meredith's life is full of drama and scheming and scandal. And ain't nothing wrong with that. And I'm not saying she has to have that, but separate from it, she's just never wowed me. And then her forgiving Lisa and the strange allegiance and quick loyalty to Lisa after that hot mic moment, I ain't seen it for her since. Because if James would have done that to me, he would have got cussed out on camera real good.
Absolutely, and vice versa. Exactly. You're not going to spread all my business and then calling me a garbage whore. Like, it's just not about to happen like that. Yeah, because
Right.
yeah, like it's just not gonna happen, and I'm not gonna forgive you like that easily. Like no, especially you've been my friend over 20 years. It ain't gonna happen like that. Yeah, it's like yeah. So no, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm just not. I'm not 100%. I'm like Mary when it comes to Mary. Mary may consider her a really good friend. Mary may love Meredith, but Mary don't fuck with Meredith at the end of the day unless she want to be bored. That's what she said out her own mouth, and I agree. I don't fuck with Meredith unless I just want to be bored. I heard apparently not everyone is coming back next season. They're cutting 3 people. Thank fucking God.
I think it's time. They've
Yes,
had 6 seasons of pretty much all the original cast members have remained unless they've chosen to leave or went to jail. But, it's time to change it up just a little bit. I think 3 is a good number.
let it be the Mormon cousins and Meredith. That is my vote. They can keep everybody else,
I feel like they
but
keep Heather, but I feel like Whitney would be the cousin that they'd let go of.
I don't see them getting rid of anybody else. Because mind you, I feel like they get Heather has not been on Watch What Happens Live yet. Usually Heather's always the first one there.
Oh.
So it makes me wonder
Saving
is
her for the finale.
no, because they're only on episode 5. So far, the people who have been on Watch What Happens Live are Angie, Lisa, Mary, Bronwyn, and Whitney. Meredith and Heather have not been on yet. So that's why I feel like I could see them getting, because what has Heather given us? Heather's given us nothing. So I can honestly see them getting rid of Heather. I can honestly see them getting rid of Whitney. And I can honestly see them, I feel like Meredith can parlay it on to the next gen show and be there with her son.
Mm-hmm.
So
Actually, I like that you brought up Next Gen NYC. Just to add to that too, for Kevin Reynolds, I would prefer to see Meredith in a light like that versus
mhm.
on this show. Like you see more of her personality, it feels like on Next Gen and with her kids versus here where she's just always angry and pent up.
Yeah, let me see. I'm gonna go back to the show. Hold on, y'all. Let me read. Is it true Meredith be out here as a DJ? Some dude on Instagram say that, but I didn't know it was real or not.
I
Yeah.
literally just liked a post on my phone of Meredith.
Mm-hmm.
Like she came out and the crowd went crazy.
I'm gonna get to this, Shani. Just give me a second. I listened to the recap of Monica and Carlos said Meredith is scared of Lisa, but Monica said Meredith does not play, and Lisa is scared of Meredith. I
I
believe Monica.
believe it.
I believe Monica
Yeah.
because to me, I feel like this is how it's always been. And as long as Lisa has alliances, she'll go at Meredith just like she did season 4. But I feel like when Lisa does not have alliances, that's when she's scared of Meredith. And that's when ain't shit about to drop off of Meredith. So yeah. Shane said a storyline is supposed to be her redoing her house. We haven't seen her doing that yet. You talking about Heather? Yeah, Heather is just there like Giselle.
We've
She's
seen
just there.
plenty of home like remodels, redesigns, whatever the hell you call it. If I want to see a house redecorated, I'm going to turn on HG fucking TV. I'm not going to turn on the Housewives. So that's not a storyline. It's just not. Now, if you are redecorating your 4th house that you have built with your husband and then randomly moved out of with your small kids, then that's a storyline. But Heather's kids, sorry, Toya, but Heather's kids are grown. They are out of the house. They are living in another state. One of them are living in another state. She doesn't seem to be able to date on camera. Either she's shy, she don't want to show us that she like women or something, or she just really doesn't have any, or her dating life is truly dry. Whatever it is, Heather has not given us anything in a very long time. And after that black eye stuff, I'm just like, just go and be the spokesperson for Ozempic, Heather. You've already done the documentary. You've lost an immense amount of weight. Just like go advertise GLP-1s, but just go away from the show, please.
Mm. Speaking of that, I'm gonna get to it because the psychic said Heather is struggling with dating life, and there's no love for her and stuff like that. Heather gets to cry. She said, "Yeah," and I'm like, "How telling, how fitting." So
happened to her
After
family storyline? How she had got back in contact with somebody in her family, like one of her siblings. Do you remember that a couple seasons ago?
no,
Where's her family?
Heather has no storyline like Giselle
Everything
Bryant.
comes.
Yes, this is Giselle Bryant, Salt Lake
Don't
City
be a
version.
standard as Thanos is wild, Shitty.
Yeah, Shane, that's no, come on now. But anyways, so Lisa and Andrea are still arguing, and Lisa brings up, "Go," she says, "Go fuck Superman. Where's Superman at?" And Andrew said, "Who is Superman? You know, you better watch what you say, or I'm gonna come over there and pull your face just like that facelift you had." And I'm just like, oh, what the hell is going on? So
Boo.
Mary has had it up to here. Mary said, "Y'all need to stop all this." So Whitney pulls Lisa away, and Mary's trying to talk to Angie, like telling Angie to calm down. It's not that serious. Put these credit cards in your purse. Everyone's going off. So Heather comes back, and Meredith goes in to see the sidekick. And as Meredith is seeing the sidekick and talking with him, Angie is frustrated, and then Mary goes to talk to Lisa. And when Mary goes to talk to Lisa, she's giving Lisa the pep talk, like, you're a businesswoman, you're a mother, you got things going on, like, this is so stupid, like, stop letting this go. And as the psychic is talking to Meredith, he says, you have a friend that you can't really trust because you feel like the things that she brings you aren't trustworthy things. And Angie walks in and grabs the bin that she brought. And Meredith says, how fitting that you say that. Because Meredith is like, yeah, I don't trust Angie and I don't believe Angie. So this is fitting. So now Meredith got the confirmation that she can't really trust Angie and should always trust Lisa. So as Angie's bringing back the Tupperware, Mary is coming back and was like, Angie, what is this? Why do you have the Tupperware? And she called it Tupperware. That was hollering. And she was like, this is all the things that Lisa bought me. And so Angie goes and has her psychic reading. The man tells her that, she's starting up a new business venture and he thinks it's going to be booming. And Angie reveals that she's starting a glasses line where she's going to have sunglasses. And the only people that know about it is Sean, Electra, and then the manufacturers. So the fact that this man pulled that up out of her, she thought, wow, there's no way he could have known that. So Bronwyn is going through the shit. Pulls out a horse, pulls out the Vita tequila that is still vacuum sealed, because y'all understand. And I love the quote Todd when he says that, they just got a little mediocre tequila company.
You know what? That's why we see Vita in people's houses a lot on this show, but we don't really see them drinking it like that. I don't think people like that
Didn't
tequila.
didn't you buy it and tasted it?
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it
It-
wasn't bad, but it did not stand out. I would not buy it again. She's charging the price for like an upper tiered tequila for like maybe like just a regular tequila. Like I would compare it to the quality of Tito's vodka, which is decent. Ain't nothing wrong with Tito's, but it's definitely not the best. And nobody can seem to find it. Like I had to fight to find it. And I found it
yeah,
on sale.
I'm not about to waste my money like that if it ain't really good. Someone else got to tell me it's good. But Angie telling Lisa she looked like she'd been through a wind tunnel having on the floor. That shit was funny as hell. Angie got her with that one because
She did.
because they zoomed in on Lisa's face when she was talking with the sidekick, and I said, "Ooh."
I think she's having a bad makeup season. Now this is the one area I'll give Lisa a pass. Maybe it's because all of her money is going towards attorneys and she's got a hell of a lot of lawsuits and maybe she had to like lower the makeup budget, but the makeup she's had and she was crying last season, or what season was that when they was at Trixie's little
That
whatever?
was season 4.
Yeah, I'm like, you was crying, freaking out over there, Lisa, but you look worse
No,
here with the makeup.
no, you just see kind of some flawed skin hanging off of her face, and you kind of just see like it looks like whatever procedure she did do, because she said she had 12 stitches. I don't know if they pull her skin. I don't know what they do. it seems like she hasn't had whatever they do in a long time, and it's starting to reflect that. She's still a pretty woman. It's just you could definitely see the imperfections, and that's why she always wears her hair to cover her face all the time.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly why she does that. But in her psychic reading, the psychic tells her, "Why does it feel like you're just now building trust? Like you and your husband are very disconnected." And she, cries about that because, yeah, her and her husband are very disconnected. She said that they can't agree on anything. They show a couple of things about, the disagreements. One I thought was really stupid. He says that he was in favor for their son who's on the way to his mission to get his own apartment, and Lisa doesn't want him to get that. Now, the reason why I pointed out that particular scene is because I feel like financially they would be responsible for the apartment, and that's maybe not an expense they should be doing right now. And then the other part of it feels like Lisa just doesn't want that boy to be grown and want him to be at home and stuff like that because maybe that's what keeps her marriage together. I don't
Yep.
know, but it was very weird.
I think I had thought it was the second option. I definitely feel like her sons being home probably kept her marriage together. Now that they're leaving, you got all these rumors coming out, and your man getting sued behind your foolery. Yes, I don't know. Lisa's, on one hand, even though I don't like Lisa's behavior on the show, I don't wish any like ill harm onto her, but I definitely think she's a lesson that's important of why it's important to be humble. You don't have to talk about every little thing that you get, every big person that you shared a room with, had the opportunity to hang out with. You don't always have to flaunt that. Uh, I don't feel like Lisa's as shallow as everyone makes her seem. I do feel like a lot of her behavior is because of the camera. Because if that were the case, she wouldn't have nobody around her or anybody close to her. But I don't know. It's unfortunate to see so many housewives getting wrapped up in legal bullshit. It's like y'all have these amazing platforms. You can do brand deals from anything from a VPN advertisement to Fashion Nova brand ambassadorship. Like you could do so much with the platform. So it drives me crazy that all of these shady lawsuits and stuff, because they had to have done something to get accused of some shit. That's how my brain worked. But tired of it.
Okay, Kevin Reynolds. I get back to narrating the show, y'all. I'm gonna read Kevin Reynolds' comment. If the rumor is true with letting go of 3, that will change the dynamic of the show in a bad way, in my opinion. I can see your point. I can. The reason why I can see your point is because what they have going for them now works. Regardless if we don't like Heather, but Heather's on the show, it does work because she's able to skate around and kind of go through everyone else's drama and be the floater. The same thing could be said about Whitney. Whitney is probably the most vulnerable now than she has been in, since probably season 4 of the show. So I could see why getting rid of her. Lisa is a hit dog that's gonna holler, so it would be hard to get rid of her. Bronwyn is a firecracker that is really doing well as someone who's only been here 2 seasons. Like Bronwyn feels like she's been here from the beginning, so it would be crazy to get rid of her. Angie is starting all the drama, so it would be hard to get rid of Angie. Mary is the reason the show exists, so they're not getting rid of. And they're not getting rid of Mary. There's no way. Like they made the mistake once. They're not going to repeat history. Meredith, I can see them letting her go on the premise that it's not that she doesn't have a storyline. It's just that it's always the same thing.
I don't think Meredith's personality will ever be big enough for this type of reality show. But at the very least, Bravo could let her go because they are working with her on other shows that they have that succeeded as well. Right. So, this whatever they do with this cast, I do get what Kevin's saying, because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But some of the people on this cast, they had they have to go. Like if they just got rid of Heather and no one else, I would be okay.
Well, what I want Kevin Reynolds to understand is someone may feel the exact same way about Real Housewives of Potomac when it came to Robin and Giselle. I'm going to give that as a great example. Y'all remember when it was rumored that Robin was supposed to be let go that same season that Monique quit? But because Monique quit, they kept Robin. I remember that being a rumor, and Robin stayed on for about 3 more seasons until they finally let her go. And since they've let her go, Giselle, from a lot of y'all's opinions, has been a lot easier to stomach on the show. And I feel like they're going to do that same tactic here, but they're not going to take so long to get rid of, somebody who really did. Because Robin didn't give over Housewives of Potomac. She just didn't. The shit about Juan got old after a while because it was constantly like, okay, she has no reaction to it. So what the hell are we supposed to do with it now? And I feel like it's the same thing with Salt Lake City. I feel like they're trying to get rid of, someone who realistically is maybe not bringing much to the show. And what they do bring to the show does not phase them in a way where we need the drama. I think that that's the route they're trying to go with it. And it's unfortunate because, yeah, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it. But at the same time, they're going to have to start paying these. They're on season 6 now. Season 7 is when they start paying them the real money. So they're going to have to start making some cuts. It's just a game of finances that they want to keep this show going the way that it's going. And I'm sure they'll get along with having heavy hitters because as long as they don't get rid of Mary, because Mary was the reason why the show almost failed, her not being there. So, and that's another thing. I do want them to bring Monica back. I feel like I would take Monica over Heather. I would. Or if I'm going to take Monica and y'all going to keep Heather, get rid of Whitney and bring Monica back over Whitney. So that way Heather has to face something. That also could be, a good thing too.
The thing with Monica is the way that they ended, the way it ended with her leaving the show. They kind of left it to where the door is not all the way closed, which I loved. And I believe James has spoke about that after the reunion. Monica done been on House of Villains. She's been on ET. She's been networking, getting deals, done had a baby, is still dating, chaotic. And her personality is amazing. She meshing with the Black audience, the clear audience. She seems to appeal to people everywhere. And I think the more that Monica stays in the spotlight, the more people are going to look at what she did as not that big of a deal. I do see her coming back one day. But if she comes back, I feel like they would keep Whitney, or because Whitney seemed to be one of the few people on the cast that was kind of like, it seemed like she had a soft spot for Monica and kind of understood where she was coming from, but couldn't say nothing because the rest of them hoes didn't want her to. But if Whitney doesn't come back, I guess I don't care. Damn, poor Whitney.
Well, here's the thing. It's not just Whitney that Monica's cool. She's also cool with Mary as well.
Yeah.
So it would
were hilarious.
Yes, it would make sense for that to be the duo. And then that also can intercept with Angie because Angie gonna feel a way about it. So just the same way Meredith did when Mary got cool with Angie. So I kind of feel like that would be a good dynamic there. Where if Monica comes back in Mary's favor, that's going to definitely go through some turmoil, and Mary ain't going to have it. And Angie and Monica did see it for each other. So yeah. Shani asked, "How do you guys think Monica and Bronwyn would get along?" I don't see them getting along.
I feel like Bronwyn would tolerate Monica.
Yes, I feel like it would be like a Britney situation. I feel like she would treat her like she treat Britney. I do, where she's nice, nasty. I can somewhat see it. It's not because of something Bronwyn does. I feel like it's going to be something because of what Monica says. Because Monica says some lethal shit, and it hurts. And Bronwyn's the type that she'll come back, and I think that they'll have like this nice, nasty relationship. I don't see them getting along at all. Monica would have mad jokes and tea about Brittany and Jared. I don't want to see these two names. I just don't. I'm gonna skip over when Jared called and Bronwyn hung up on the phone. That's what happened.
She wants this to be. I honestly feel like everybody has said what they can about Brittany and Jared, from the audience to recappers like myself and James, other bloggers, YouTubers, all of that. This situation is not changing. It's not that interesting. Half of us didn't even want Brittany back. Like, we don't have to talk about this bitch and her relationship the rest of the season, because nothing that she could tell me about her relationship with him would surprise me. And at this point, nothing that she would tell us on TV or say to anybody about not being there for her kids to run after some dick, that ain't gonna surprise me no more either, because that's just what she does. Like, Brittany, if Brittany was a Black woman in the exact same situation with the exact same storyline, she would be ripped to fucking shreds, tore apart. They probably have petitions to have her pulled from the show and all types of stuff. And she just getting away with it. I can't respect a woman like Brittany. I just can't. I just have to let that out.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. But we're gonna get back to the show, y'all. I'm getting off center with the comment. So Lisa, just gonna cut to where Lisa's had enough of Angie. So Lisa decides to leave. And right now at this point, Whitney's getting her psychic reading. And the psychic is telling Whitney that you have a friend that, moves around like a snake and that you are contemplating whether or not you should trust her. Lisa's walking in at this moment that the man is saying this, and she goes to kiss to Whitney and waves goodbye at her and leaves. And Whitney acted like she didn't pay attention to that, but she knows she did. Also, the situation with Justin comes up about, how she felt responsible for him losing his job. And he really didn't want to go into the business. And she said that one of the biggest issues that they have, because they have a great marriage, is just they are really bad at communicating. And y'all, it's been a long time for me, but communication, like, honestly, is one of the biggest elements of marriage. I don't know how you can say you have a good marriage but are bad at communicating. Because to what degree are we talking about when it comes to communication? Like, do you make decisions and then you tell them about it later? Is that what happens, Whitney? I needed her to expand. Mrs. Best, were you equally as confused when she said that, or was it just me?
I thought Lisa struggled with communication. Whitney said that too?
Whitney said that in her confessional.
Oh,
Hi, Dimples on the man. I just want to say hi to you.
Yeah, hey girl. I feel like, I don't know, I just feel like communication, even outside of a marriage, is the heartbeat of any relationship.
Yes.
So it's very hard. It's very hard to do anything with anybody without communicating. It's very, very difficult. Even people who are deaf or blind find other ways of communicating because it's necessary. So if you're having issues communicating with someone, that's extremely problematic, especially when it's someone that you are living life with, paying bills with, and raising children with. But I think I would imagine that is difficult to be on reality television and actually like actively married, like where you're seeing your spouse in the same house as them versus a spouse that's gone all the time, kind of like Todd, who seemed to work a lot, or whoever else.
Robert Sr. Yeah.
So I would imagine it's difficult to go through shit in your marriage on TV, because if my husband irritates me about like something small, it's difficult to even like concentrate at work. So I can imagine having to go through that on television. But you're on a show called The Real Housewives and Your Housewives. Explain to us the pieces of communication that are a struggle. Do you feel like it's your fault that he lost his job because he blamed you? Or is there actual proof in his termination that he lost his job because of your actions? You know what I mean? So I think, I don't think we're going to know what's really going on, but I don't think that Whitney or Lisa are happy in their marriages.
I think, to me, when Whitney said that, I feel like Whitney is holding on for dear life into a situation that, because to be honest with you, her marriage looks a lot like daddy issues to me. It just does.
It is.
And I feel like, and Dimples on the Man said, interesting that both Whitney and Lisa have marital issues. The problem with Lisa is that Lisa didn't marry the person that she needed to be married to, because Lisa needs a man that's going to put her in her place. John is too passive. John is the kind of man that just lets Lisa just run amok up in the house and then cleans up right after.
John because she needed her happily ever after, especially after stealing him from her sister.
Yeah.
And she's got a big ego, which we all have seen on this show, to where even when she's confronted with receipts about being wrong, she's still going to struggle to admit it and give you some bullshit ass apology and deflect. So I feel like that's the only reason Lisa and John made it work. She doesn't speak of, I'll speak more on it when we get to them, but with them is different. With Whitney, I do agree that it's daddy issues, just based on everything Whitney has talked about from season 1 of coming on this show has been related to her issues with parents and what she went through with that. I do feel like a lot of her behaviors are like a cry from help. Whitney's someone who could probably, like, if she were to go to like therapy, take it seriously, and have like the best of the best in therapists for her, I feel like we would see a complete, like, different person with her.
I think we are seeing a different person. And I think that that's why this cry for help is acting such a way in her marriage, and why every season there's a marital issue with her. Because she's had marital issues for the last 3 or 4 seasons now. So I kind of feel like, okay, every season you're morphing into something different. So on this so-called spiritual journey, are you noticing the elements of you that's not really attracted? And I'm not saying she's not physically attracted or mentally attracted. I think that the attraction to her husband, in the sense of her, being who she was when she married him, is different now because she's much younger. He's older. So you have to understand, when y'all are in your 20, 30s, and 40s, those are the most life-changing years of your life. I am not the same person at 30 that I am now at 35. I have changed drastically in just those 5 years. And I feel like, and Whitney and I are the same age. So I feel like Whitney is constantly changing, where Justin's already lived this life already at that age and has already had children, has already lived. So I kind of feel like they're not on the same page. They're just not. And I think that's really what it is.
There are some signs too. That's a good thing you bring up about the fact that they have been having marital issues for the last few seasons, because that is something that is true. And I think that now she's focusing more on, instead of trying to keep the spark going and figuring it out, she's also addressing herself. But I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
3 or 4 seasons of having marital issues. Then earlier in the season, I don't think it was this episode, maybe the one before this one, but she was bending over the bed, didn't barely notice. It just seems like the playful sexual banter, the funness with them is gone. I hope they can recover it, but when you lose businesses, that really does impact relationships. Finances are a huge stressor. So I don't know what's going to happen with Whitney, but
Yeah, that's a good point. So we move on, where Angie's still going off the Raiders. Like, I don't know when he's soup, man. I don't know what. Lisa already left y'all, but she's still going on and on and on about Lisa. And when she threw that horse and that leg broke, now mind you, I forgot to mention this, but when she had her second reading, he said something about a horse and that it's going to have an accident and to be careful. And she said, "Oh, Electra just got a new horse," but literally the leg broke off of the horse that Lisa gave her. And Mary said, "Well, maybe that psychic is right. Maybe he do know what he's doing if that's what he predicted." But as soon as Angie continues to go off the railings, and it's like completely off her rocker, Heather goes, "But Angie, you were Lisa's friend, and you were okay with her talking shit about everybody else, but when it comes to you, now all of a sudden it's an issue." And she goes, "No, it's not." And even Mary chimed in. She said, "Yes, but you went along with a lot of the things that Lisa did. So why is it now not okay? Because you're on the receiving end of it." And when I tell you, Angie started crying and was just losing her fucking mind. Mary went up to her and was like, "Look, stop this. Like, we all know what it is. Like, why are you doing this?" And she goes, "You guys don't know, because all of you have went back to kiss her ass. You went back, Mary. Heather went back. Bronwyn went back. Everybody's going back." Mary said, "Hold the fuck up. What you just say? I know you didn't just say." And she doubled down and said, "Yeah, you went back, Mary." Mary said, "I'm done with you. Done. Because you're not finna insult me like that." And that is an insult, y'all. And I actually understood what Angie was saying, I was like, "Oh hell no, you done lost your fucking mind." And it took I know Mary a pastor and all this, but Mary looked like she wanted to slap the shit out of her. Like, it looked like she was just ready. And all Mary could do was leave. Mary walked out of there. Mary said, "Mary, baby, Mary, come back." Mary was gone. And that's me. Because you ain't finna sit up there and try to downgrade me like that. And I've been the one in your corner. That's crazy as hell. And I don't think Angie understood where she was in that moment. I think that's why I think she was just having an outburst. But Mary left. And so Whitney was done with her reading, and Mary was the last person. Mary wasn't going to do that shit in the first place, Whitney. And so She goes outside and she goes to go. And she's like, "What's going on?" And it was just Angie was exhausting as hell after a while. I was like, Angie, I can't with you. Like, I get you are Center Snowflake. I get you are bringing out the drama, but this is getting exhausting as hell. And so that was pretty much the episode, y'all. They didn't really talk about much. Like Whitney tried to defend Angie, but Angie was just going off the railings, talking about the suit man, talking about Lisa, talking about how she can't take this shit no more. It was just a lot. It was a great episode for it to be one scene and one scene only because we stayed at this place the entire time. But y'all, like Shani said, Mary said, I don't backpedal this pop for nobody. That's right, Mary. So, Mr. Best, I have to ask you, and I already know the answer to this, but I'm just going to be funny anyway. Do you think Mary was wrong for leaving?
I think it was a little extra, but I don't blame her for leaving. If you see somebody upset, you can't really fully hold them accountable for every little thing that come out their mouth, especially when it's coming from Angie, because Angie knows that's why she got so upset, that she was one of the main people on Lisa's side and up her ass, especially the season when Monica was there. So
yeah.
It was a little extra, but I think it's important that Mary's a good example of placing boundaries with people. Don't never let nobody play with you more than once. Show them the first time what your boundary is. And she did that. So we know in real time they're good today. So I know that they'll figure it out. The only thing I really want to comment on is Lisa's little thingy with her, whatever the fuck he was, a psychic or a medium.
Mm-hmm.
After this episode, I now thoroughly believe that Lisa be cheating on John. I'm going to say it's alleged because I cannot say that that's happening for sure because I do not know her. I do not live in Salt Lake City. I don't see these people. But how emotional she got with the son, wanting him to stay there and mentioning how trust is broken, it just kind of made me think like how is the trust broken?
That was a dog whisper that something else was going on.
Yeah, that's what I couldn't help but to think. And that's the thing with Lisa. Lisa has a storyline, so she do the most, but I think of anybody here, I think Lisa will remain because she has a storyline both with the women and acting like a psychopath, but then also individually trying to hide shit that's so obvious. But yeah, it was a good episode for one scene, but Angie, I am worn out. I want Angie to, you could still do what you do, Angie, but just after so long, just be quiet.
Just scale it back just a little bit. Like, you ain't got to be all dramatic with this shit. And nobody cares about Suit Man, some shit that Lisa pulled out her ass, just like she pulled out the gal dick shit. And just like, that's like, you need to learn how to laugh at that shit. Like, unless there really is a Suit Man out there and Lisa was telling your business and that's why you got upset. Going back to those rumors, season 4, it wouldn't surprise me, Angie. It really wouldn't. Like, I'm just saying. I don't know who the hell that was screaming outside my house, but Lord Jesus. But but that was pretty much the episode. That was pretty much it. Let me read some of these comments really quickly because I know I'm not a Heather fan yet. She is good with her confessional narration along with providing Mormonism for the viewing audience. She is a good confessional gangster. I will give you that, but at the same time, I don't like.
She's a flop because nothing she says in her confessional does she say when she's around the other women.
It's not so much that I don't like when one person slacks away from the group project, if you get what I'm saying. Like, I feel like Heather, for at least 2 or 3 seasons, has been able just to exist. Like last season, Heather had not near a storyline. We didn't see Heather alone not one damn time last season. So for me, I kind of feel like she gets away with a lot. And she gets away with not having to have a storyline or not even be entertaining at all. That's why I'm shocked. That's why I'm shocked that Andy has not had her as a guest yet on Watch What Happens Live. And that shit does matter. I just want everybody to know that shit does matter.
But what would she talk about? Like, nobody really cared to see her. if she was on Watch What Happens Live, it's like, what would she give? If I was production, I wouldn't call her either after figuring out she lied about that black eye.
Yeah, that's how I feel as well. So that was pretty much the episode, you guys. There was not much to go off of. Once again, Salt Lake City is my longest view. I'm gonna have to find a way to cut this shit. So I'm always interact with you guys. So I guess, that's just what it's gonna have to be, is an
Engagement
hour.
is good. It
Yes.
pulls others in, makes them feel safe. That's good.
Yeah. So I guess I'm just gonna have to just continue to do this. But that was it, y'all. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, like the video, you guys, because the Braxtons didn't get but one like, and I can't understand 200 views. Why I only got one like on that video.
I was that like.
You was that like?
Yeah.
Damn. Mrs. Best was that like, y'all. Unless y'all don't want me to do the Braxtons, I will drop it. So
I don't even think it's that. I think with a show like that, I think people just want to hear the opinion and they kind of go away from it because it's very, I could tell it's going to be heavy.
Yes, which is why I need all the likes, all of the subscriptions, all of that. Because if I have to go into these dark episodes,
James said, y'all better make it worth it.
Y'all better make it worth it. Let me read Kevin Reynolds' comment, and then we're going to go to Mrs. Best channel for Love and Hip Hop. And I got to check out my lasagna.
For me, Capriza slice.
Child, it is a freezer slice. It's one of them stovers.
Good.
Yeah, those are my favorite. I'm a Mary fan, yet she is a hypocrite. Last season, Mary was mad at Angie K for coddling Brittany, yet this episode, Mary gets upset for not going along with Angie K against Lisa. Make it make sense.
Hi, Naya.
Let me read this again, Kevin Reynolds. Let me read this again. I'm a Mary fan, yet she is a hypocrite. Last season, Mary was mad at Angie K for coddling Brittany, yet this episode, Mary gets upset for not going along with Angie K against Lisa. Make it make sense.
Yeah, I got what he was saying. Mary does this season after season, but that's another reason why she's a good housewife. It keeps this show going because she do be hypocritical with stuff, and you could tell that there's like a different rule book for herself compared to others, because a lot of times the stuff that she expects from others, she does not give in return. That's why I was saying in my comment, like, if you see that your friend is upset, that's why I thought it was a little dramatic for her to just leave. Because if you I see that you're upset, James, and then I'm like, yeah, but James, this and that, and you snap at me like, no, I don't care, and you're doing this and they're doing that, I'm not going to take it personally because you emotional in that moment. But Mary, be concerned about Mary. So I definitely agree with the comment, but Mary gonna keep doing this. She don't give a damn.
I agree with his comment. I do. That's why I had to read it twice, because I do agree she is a hypocrite at times. However, in this situation, I see why she left. I do, because I don't think it was the same thing. I think she was mad at the fact that it was everyone goes back to her to kiss her ass, and she was included, because Mary does not kiss anybody's ass. So I think that Mary was kind of one of those, like, no, you're not going to tell me that I can't get mad at her just because you're mad at her. And then in the other flow, you're telling me that I kiss her ass and go back to her. It's kind of like you're saying I'm running back to a person who whooped my ass. It's kind of like saying that to me. So no, I kind of felt like I understood why she left, because that's basically saying that you're implying that I go back to Lisa to get the abuse that everyone else gets, and I don't. And I think that that's what it is. But yes, I do agree she is a hypocrite. I do agree with that in other circumstances. Not so much this one, because I understood why she did what she did. Mm-hmm. But in other circumstances, yes, I 100% agree. Mary is for Mary. Am I mad at it? No. But yeah, she do be doing a lot though. Hi Naya, thank you for being here. That's okay. Make sure you make the next one and then go over to Mrs. Best channel for Love and Hip Hop, because we're gonna hit it over there. Mary be something else, but hey, this show wouldn't survive without. So what can we do? But I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna end this live. We're gonna go over to Mrs. Best channel to cover Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. It was a hot ass mess. It was funny to me, but I can't wait, because I can't wait to go in. I'll see you guys there. Y'all have a good one. Like, comment, and subscribe, please. Thank you. Have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye.